So we have the official details for Black Swan's light cone. And today we're going to be talking about whether or not you should summon for the light cone and what other options are available if you do not want to summon for this light cone, or like, maybe you could use a more free-to-play friendly option. Maybe you have another existing option in game that will let you use Black Swan pretty nicely without having to get her official light cone. Now, we're also going to be referencing her kit here. This kit was also officially revealed about half an hour before this actual light cone was revealed. And I did do a video breaking down Black Swan's kit. If you want to go ahead and take a look at that video, feel free to do so before hopping into this one. But let's honestly just take a look here at Black Swan's light cone. And we'll just break it down right away. So, the light cone ability, obviously at super imposition level 1. This increases the wearer's effect hit rate by 40%. When the wearer deals damage to an enemy inflicted with wind shear, burn, shock, or bleed, they will individually gain 1 stack of profit. This effect can stack up to 4 times. In a single battle, each type of DOT can only generate 1 stack of profit. Every stack of profit increases the wearer's attack by 5%, and the DOT they deal will ignore 7.2% of the target's defense, right? So, this could get pretty nasty. In like the scenario where you have all 4 stacks of profit up, which it's not really going to be common. You can get 20% attack and then a 28.8% defensive ignore, which is going to, that's just nasty, right? But I think most of the time you're going to have like 2, maybe 3, right? So let's say 10% to 15% attack increase, and then still 14.4 to 21.6% defense increase, which that's still good. That's still really, really good. Then you're maybe thinking, okay, well, the effect hit rate obviously is going to be really good for her to inflict her debuffs, right? The Arcana is actually a debuff from what I'm understanding, and it is basically just unique to her. But this right here will be important not only for that, but if we take a look here at her talent, the Candle Flame's important. She does increase damage to this unit up to an amount equal to a certain percentage of EHR up to a limit. This is going to just help you out. This is literally just going to help you maybe not have to focus as much on EHR for some of your stats and your relics, right? And then you could focus on other stats that will be good for Black Swan, maybe even like speed or, attack percentage, something like that, right? That'll be good for DOT characters. Instead of having to kind of focus a little bit on EHR, I think that is a good thing, right? And obviously just going to make her do more damage in general. So very clearly, this is going to be the best light cone for her, I think, with what her kit is doing. This is really, really good. One other thing to consider is that, she can have the potential to deal wind damage to the enemy, right? But if we want to take a look, and obviously with, I guess I want to also say the enemy targets will receive wind DOT at the start of each turn. So because of this is going to, I don't think this counts as wind shear. Does it count as wind shear? I'm not 100% sure if that actually does count as wind shear. I haven't used her in game, obviously, right? But the reason why I think it might not be is because it says here, enemies affected by Epiphany take more damage, and then their Arcana effect is regarded as wind shear, bleed, burn, and shock effects, right? So I'm assuming what happens, obviously, is when you use the ultimate and the Arcana effect is regarded as, I assume it's just going to be all of these effects. It's regarded as all of these effects at once, is what I'm thinking, right? I'm not sure if it's going to be random or not, but regardless, that's going to allow her to get all 4 stacks of profit, which is why she has this. This is directly in combination with her ultimate. Her ultimate will also increase the Arcana. How to explain? It'll keep her from resetting, right? It says right here, when the Arcana effect is triggered at the beginning of the next turn, the stacks are not reset, so you keep the stacks for an extra turn. So you're able to build up more Arcana cards. That'll also help her get to the 7 stacks right here, where it ignores a certain percentage of defense, which is going to be good. And then obviously this will be further defense ignore, further attack buff, and then she's just going to do just a lot more damage, right? So this light cone works pretty well for her because of how her ultimate is designed. You can clearly tell that the ultimate and the light cone will work very, very well together. So that's how you're able to essentially get the full 28% like defense ignore here and the full 20% attack. So this is just a great light cone for her. And then obviously it's available in a warp. In regards to her banner, we do have a new destruction Lycone here. Increase the wearer's break effect by 20%. When the wearer uses the ultimate, increases their crit rate by 15%, lasting for 2 turns. I mean, sure. It's something like drastically special. It's a 4-star Lycone. It's like okay. I'm trying to think of a character at the top of my head that could really use this as a destruction character, but I don't know. I mean, probably Misha. I don't know what Misha's kit does at all, to be honest, but probably him. And then we also have this Lycone right here, Nihility Lycone, and then a Harmony Lycone right there. So, I mean, this is a good Lycone, this Dance Dance. I do like this Lycone a lot. This one is like a decent Lycone too, I guess, you know. It's okay. It's okay. Right. But let's go ahead and take a look here in game. And I do want to do this. Okay. I do want to compare to the existing Lycones that we do have and just talk about each little Nihility Lycone that we do have right here in comparison to hers. Again, the thing with I do want to foreface. The thing with DPS Lycones is that they're usually just really good for the character specifically. And they're going to be the best ones for the character specifically compared to, again, like, you know, if we're talking about like a Harmony character, like literally the one I brought up, Dance Dance Dance, like there's a lot of like extra Harmony character effects that works well with them. Maybe even just pure debuffers like Silver Wolf right here, this one, right? Honestly, this one, we're going to start talking about this one. This one's not bad for her, right? It increases the effect hit rate, which is going to help her increase more damage, and that's going to help her hit the actual debuffs on the enemy. And then when she attacks defense reduced enemies, she'll get 4 energy, right? Which should be pretty good for her ultimate. Getting the ultimate off will just be massive for her, and the ability for her to keep her Arcana stacks will be really powerful. So getting this 4 energy could be useful, and obviously, I guess the only thing is that, well, to be fair, the skill does have a chance of reducing the defense of the attacked enemies anyways. So, I mean, this will work out like hand in hand with her skill. So this is actually a pretty decent free-to-play Lycone for Black Swan. That's like one I would be considering using myself, right? And we'll just go down the path of what I have just in general. So we have this Welt in the name of the World Lycone. This one increases the wearer's damage to debuffed enemies by 24%. When the wearer uses their skill, the effect hit rate for this attack increases by 18%, and then attack increases by 24%. So again, the thing with the skill is able to inflict a stack of Arcana on all 3 of the targets, right? So there's going to be 1 main target and then 2 side targets, right? So since with the skill, she's already AoE hitting essentially 3 of those characters, having the effect hit rate increase there, and then attack increase, this is just going to purely increase her attack, and then she gets another attack increase here, and then she does damage to debuffed enemies in general. So like this is not like the worst Lycone for her either, especially since it'll help her hit her debuffs more. And then this just in general just going to increase the damage. I actually don't know if that counts for DOT though. On the top of my head, I'm not 100% sure, but this is like an okay sub option, right? You know, you could use it. Take a look at Good Night Sleep Well. For every debuff the target enemy has, 12% damage increase, and yes, because it says this also applies to DOT. The other one doesn't, so I'm assuming the other one doesn't apply to DOT specifically. I haven't used that Welt Lycone too much, and to be honest, I was never like a big Nihility fan until now. But this stacks up to 3 times, so again, if you have like the Arcana debuff, the like shock debuff, and the, let's say, burn debuff, right? If you're running like Black Swan, Ginefin, and Kafka, right? Let's say that for example, then you'll get I kind of do the math in my head, 36% damage cell increase to DOT. That could actually be good. And then the thing about this is that, again, if the ultimate does work the way I think it is, again, it is specifically saying the Arcana effect is regarded as Wind Shear, Bleed, Burn, and Shock. So I'm assuming this will also max this out, if that's how it does indeed work. And if that's the case, you know, this could be also a decent option for her too, right? More so than the what one. So I like these 2 so far. This one, Eyes of Prey. Again, effect hit rate 20% and then 24% DOT. This one is probably better than this one because this one is just going to straight up increase the EHR, which will make her do more damage, and the DOT increased damage is consistent compared to this one where you want to have certain debuffs. It's like on the ultimate, this one will do more DOT damage overall, but I think, yeah, even then, like, this will be more damage in general. That'll be 44% damage because of the fact that, as we said earlier, the technique, well, not the technique, sorry, the trace will increase the damage dealt by the unit by an amount and go to the certain percentage, right? So that's important to say. So I would say these two, I like these two. This one, no. For mana right here, it's like wind or shock. Oh, shock or wind sneer, 12%, break effect. I mean, there are better options like this one, the sample one, and then this free-to-play one even. The 3-star ones, I mean, that one's mediocre. This one's not going to be good for her at all. And then this one is also not going to be good for her. So these three suck for her. Then again, we got the Kafka one. Again, the Kafka one is like, you could use on her, I think, for sure. It's not like bad. Enemies afflicted with erode right here, that when she could afflict erode here, and then that also is considered to be shocked, and that'll add another debuff, which is like, you know, sure, right? But it could work. You can get it to use, and it has the speed increase. But again, I feel like if you have Kafka's icon, you might just have Kafka herself, maybe, but who knows. Innocent Rain, this is the Silver World 5 Starlight Cone, right? So effect hit rate does increase by 24%, which is nice. Crit rate here doesn't really do much for her, I am thinking. And then she has the 100% chance to implant Aether Code. Targets with Aether Code receive 12% increased damage for one turn specifically. This one's okay for her. This one right here, break effect increase. When the berries the ultimate, DOT is dealt by the wearer by 24%, lasting for 2 turns. And then when a target enemy suffers from DOT is defeated, 4 energy regenerated to the wearer. So this was also not like bad for her because of the fact that, again, this could like go hand in hand with her ultimate, leaving the Arcana stacks, and then you're also just increasing your damage further, and then you're regenerating energy, which could be good for her to get her ultimate off more. I could see someone maybe getting used out of that one. And then this one doesn't really do anything. So, like, again, I'm going to say for free-to-play options, the Eyes of the Prey, before the Tutorial Moon mission starts. I don't know why I said Moon. Like, these two, I like the best. Again, like, there are options you could use, like the Wet one, I guess. This one, and then the Solitary Healing, right? The rest are, like, you know, there are better options, I would say. All in all, of course, her own light cone is going to be the best one to use. And that's pretty much it from there. So let me know what you guys think. Are you guys going to go ahead and summon it for Black Swan's light cone? I'm actually considering it still. I'm going to see how these other light cones work. But if I really feel like I'm going to want her own light cone, then I'm probably just going to like summon for it. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep going as I already am and just use the free-to-play light cones available. Or probably the sample one. I do like how that sample one is looking like. Let me know what you guys are thinking, though. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.